Hey everyone, and welcome back to the program. I'll be talking about U2 3 from Record Store Day Black Friday 2019. Stick around and we'll dive in. So we're a couple months past Black Friday. Obviously, we're into the new year. Record Store Day 2020 is around the corner. So I thought now would be a good time to kind of reflect on some of my purchases and maybe hear back from you to see what you got and if you're happy with what you've made. What purchases you've made. These can be a bit of an investment, and you get online early, and it's definitely a commitment if you're into collecting and picking up some of these exclusive releases. So U2 3 is a re-release of sorts. It's their first EP, which came out 1979, 1980. I mean, it's early. Forgot to look that up before we started here, but and I'll note it on the screen below. But this is their 40th anniversary edition, so that probably puts us back to 1979. Of their first release, songs on it: Out of Control, Story for Boys, and Boy Girl. The versions are slightly different than those that ended up on on their album, on their first album. It's a good, solid release. I was happy to get this. I'm a huge U2 fan. I love picking up U2 releases. They do a lot of Record Store Day and Record Store Day Black Friday releases. It's definitely, we could do a whole nother video, and at some point in the future, I might do that and pull out the ones that I've picked up previously and talk a little bit about them. It's a solid release. I was a little disappointed maybe in the artwork. I would have liked to have gotten a reproduction of that original EP. A lot of folks, when they do these, a lot of these bands, they'll put out a re-release and they'll try to keep it to that original art. They did something different. It's in a sleeve, with the die cut in the middle. It sounds great. I mean, it's on a solid. It's a 180 gram release. So it sounds good. I was happy with the reproduction. They did put out a lot of these. U2 over the years, I think they've gotten to know their audience with the limited releases, and they tend to go fast. This was 11,694 out of 17,000, but I also haven't really seen this one floating around in the leftover bin post Record Store Day. Which tells me that these sold out pretty well. They're available on the secondary market at a reasonable price, but I would suggest, if you're thinking about this, picking it up earlier than later. Record Store Day releases from U2 are fairly sought out. They're tough to come by at a cheap price if you forget about them. Especially some of their earlier ones. I've got a couple that were released, earlier in Record Store Day history that are in kind of that $100 and up range. Now, with 17,000 of these, I doubt this will ever go up to that level. But, a couple years from now, if this one goes to $40 or $50, it wouldn't surprise me. So if you're thinking about it, I would say pick it up now before, it's too late. You don't want to, I wouldn't want to overpay on this one. But it's good. And as a U2 fan, as a record collector, it's one that I wanted to have, and I'm happy with it, and I enjoy it. And I've really been happy with all of U2's record store releases by and large, since they've been doing them. And they're a fairly regular participant, and it wouldn't shock me to see them come up with something for Record Store Day when the list comes out, within the next month or so. So what do you think? Did you pick this one up? Were you happy with it? Is this one that you're considering getting if you didn't get a chance to get it on Record Store Day Black Friday? Let me know in the comments below so we can continue this conversation. Obviously, I would love to get a thumbs up, a like on this video, and would love it if you subscribed and hit that notification bell, because I am planning more videos in the future. Thanks, everyone.